I swear to God, I'm glad I'm being recorded. Alright, so it's December 29th, 2014. We just came out of a double feature because I really just wanted to go see a movie. And the first one was Annie. And Annie is just this silly little movie. Oh, I'm sorry, it's called Black Annie because all the main characters are now black except Cameron Diaz. And in the beginning of the movie, she's in school, and she completely does her assignment wrong and gets an A. And she gets more of a reaction than the other Annie. There's two Annies in this class, and one's a ginger, and the other one is Black Annie. And it was supposed to be a biography on your favorite president. And she says Franklin Delano Roosevelt. She's like, I didn't write it. It's in my brain. And then she makes the whole class go, grrr, ha ha ha, and then she gets an A. And then the movie goes downhill from there. And it has these weird little editing moments and just the stupidest things. And the lip syncing's horrible. And it's boring. And I may have laughed a couple times. And mostly because Jamie Foxx is just sitting around like, why the fuck am I in this movie? And it's just, it's not the worst movie I've seen. It's not very good. And you know what? I think it was under 2 hours. They remix Hard Knock Life 14 times in the movie, and then she sings Tomorrow to herself, and then later other people go, oh hey, it's Annie, tomorrow, and I'm like, you weren't there when she sang that, how do you know about that? That doesn't make any sense, that movie. But I can forgive that, because then we saw a second movie, because I'm like, no, I can't go home with that, there's gotta be something better. Hey, you know what, that Unbroken movie, War Epic, Christmas Day, War Epic, that sounds like it could be a better made film. It's got, I know the people behind it, the cinematographers, one of the best in the business, and Angelina Jolie directed it, and no, it's a very pretty movie. It's very well made on a technical level, sound editing, production design, costume, CG, whatever, everything looks good. Then they forgot to write characters. And the main character shows up, and he's the main character because he's the one who gets punched in the face the most. His character development is he's Italian, and he gets punched in the face. That is the beginning and end of his goddamn character development. And then you watch him get Passion of the Christ for like 13 hours. The movie, start time was like 8:55, so we probably started around 9. Shit. I was gonna sneeze. It's now 11:22. We've been in the car about 5 minutes. So this movie is over 2 hours of just watching him in a boat, and all this shit happens in a little life where after you think, wow, it's been a couple weeks. Day 3, fuck you. And then more nasty shit happens. Day 5, eat all the dick. Oh, there's a shark. Day 18, why? They're in this raft for a half hour. And it's, normally you would do this out of the sake of like, hey, this is how nasty it was for the guy. Yeah, but you still gotta tell a fucking story. And like this other guy, you know what this other guy's character development was? He was blonde. That's the only way you could tell him apart from the other soldiers. He happened to be blonde. This other guy had a character development as well. He had a cigar in his mouth. That was the end of his character development. His brother shows up, and his brother, they age about 5 years, so they change actors to make them 30 years older. And the brother, you can tell it's the brother because he has the same hat on, and then he says nothing. No character development for him at all. And then there's a cop that arrests him when he's like 12, and he takes him home. He's like, the only reason I'm not taking you in is because your dad's respected, and we never know why his dad's respected. And then they're like, he's at a prison camp, and then they're like, uh-oh, the Allies are going to find us. We got to move you to another prison camp. Oh, and the guy that led the camp got promoted. And then he comes back out. The guy, the main Japanese guy, the main prison commander dickhead who zeroes in on our hero for the only reason that he does that is because he's the main character. No other fucking reason. I think he ran track with him. I think he was in the Olympics. I think that's what happened. Because it's the 1936 Germany Olympics, and they referenced Jesse Owens, and I think they showed him for a split second and said Ohio State. just to go, oh, by the way, we know what we're doing, kinda, and then it moves on. So anyway, they're in a new internment camp, and then the same commander comes out, just got promoted, and it's like, oh my god, not this guy again. And then he gives the same speech. It's like, these are all the same motherfuckers that just moved. Nothing has changed. You're just wasting your time. It's just, oh my god. And then he literally make him pick up this giant wood board and then hold him out of his head. And that goes on for 10 minutes! It's like, get it? He's Jesus. Get it? Get it? He's holding up a cross, and it isn't stopping. Oh my god. It's so fucking long. And I get it. You know what? I love long movies. I can take a long movie. One of the best movies I've seen in a long time that I can remember being like 3 hours is The Right Stuff. And it's about the early days of NASA and them, you know, the space program and all that. Chuck Yeager. That is a badass movie. You know what? It's 3 hours long, but all the characters matter. That's the closest example I can think of. It's the most recent really long movie I've seen that isn't like The Hobbit. So, fuck, it's just so boring. And you know what? At the same time, we walked out, people clapped. There were people enjoying it. Gary, you're recording this right now. I'm sure you're thinking I'm overreacting. You probably liked it. I know a lot of people like this movie. They're going to find it very inspiring. Since half the dialogue came from a fucking fortune cookie, you can take it, you can make it. With great power comes great responsibility. That's half the dialogue in this movie. It's like, it's either, oh, my mother make gnocchi, or, if you can dream it, you can do it. That's half the dialogue. Like, you don't know anything about these characters. And then he gets in this new internment camp, and there's this other guy that comes up, and he's also Italian, so he also talks like Joe Pesci. It's like, okay. And it's just, God, I did not like this movie at all. Unbroken. And you know what? If you are in the mood for a very, it can still be seen as a very inspirational war movie, inspirational story, then you know what? I'm probably overreacting. Annie kind of took it out of me a bit, kind of lowered my mood, just because it wasn't a very well-made film. Kind of an embarrassing movie. But that's it. Unbroken, just boring as anything. So, yeah, that's really all I got. I don't know. It's 11:27 now. I'm probably going to go home. So, good night. Whoever sees this, it's all. I got nothing else.
Like and subscribe for more videos.